And it's interesting to think about what is it that actually makes people be positively disposed to what somebody's saying so that they're persuaded in that particular direction. Well, in a way, that's what the four speakers here want to try to do is, can we think about this in a conceptual way so that we can see patterns of what people do, both from a positive point of view and things that people just instinctively do that perhaps get them in trouble, that prevent the message from being able to be passed along as effectively as it might. And I think it's interesting, and I say this, please, you'll understand it. I mean, the people who are talking all have a lot of degrees. And one of the dangers, I think, is that the more degrees you have, the more you believe that it's the probity and cogency of your logic that propels people. Well, I'm not saying that logic hurts. I don't mean to say that at all. But I'm not sure it's what actually ends up moving people. And so what we want to try to do is to try to look at, well, what is it? And I think independently, what I think is interesting, if you take a look at the four cast of characters here, that each of us in our own way have come to a notion of what I'll call the ability of the speaker or the communicator to connect with his or her audience on a human level.
As the first stage in your four stages of this seminar, I hope I've put across the extraordinary power of connection. And I heard you at the table saying it's more communication. It's really not. It's connection. Communication is fine. That's understanding. Connection is creating that feeling of buy-in, of loyalty, of wanting to go the extra mile. It is an incredibly powerful lever when you're able to create it. Without it, you can get good results, but you'll never get great results. Great results almost invariably come from this feeling of extraordinary just devotion and passion and commitment that definitely comes out of emotion, not out of cognition, that taps into the deeper parts of our brains.
Third, analogies and precedents. Many of you are working with people and they're concerned about the future. You're leading them to a path that is unknown. And the unknown scares people. The unknown has risks. So it's often important to find a precedent or an analogy to give them some guidance. Say, you know, this company did the same thing and its profits increased substantially as a result.
Just so you know, in your manual, after Team Dimensions profile, there is an explanation. It's called the speed relay process. That's the process I just taught you in terms of how to communicate with your teams, how to improve communication, and a better strategy than just discussion. There's a process in the book that takes you through the things that we've just talked about. So if you want to review what we did, you can look at it right there. Now, let me give you one twist on this. I've worked in some organizations where there's enough trust where only the creators are in the room when creating is going on. Only the refiners are in the room when refining is going on. The only time the executors show up is when there needs to be a plan. The executors love that. Who are the executors here? We had one, right? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be fantastic? The executors are just like so happy. Like, I don't have to go through all that brainstorming. Just show me what I got to do and I'll plan it.
So let's assume you've been talking for 53 years, okay, roughly, okay? What are you're questioning that? Might be a couple few. Okay, you've been talking for 53 years. How ingrained is the habit of talking, would you say? Do you wake up in the morning having to struggle with it? No, I don't think so. Yeah. Maybe a rough night before. It's the But it is such an ingrained habit. It's incredible. Now just picture, if you think about it, just from a practical point of view, guys, you are going to try, because you put up this silly little thing up here on a screen, you think you're going to change the way you talk after you've been talking a particular way for 40 years. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not. You're going to, it would be like me saying, okay, I want you to leave here and go back out to your car or to your hotel room, but you can't walk the way you normally walk. You have to change the way you walk. Well, you can't, right? It's too ingrained. But you see what people do is we force ourselves to talk in a way that's just not natural to the way we would naturally talk as if we were sitting down having a cup of coffee. And you say, well, why is it so hard to do it? Because you've structured your content in a way that won't allow you to do it.